Ben will be here shortly. Okay. Um, Welcome, everybody. Glad you all came out in the cold. Um, Nice crowd out there. Democracy hard at work. So it's good to see a lot of faces. Um, so we're going to start with the work session. And the first item is the budget modifications. Has everybody had a chance to look over the budget modifications?
Yes.
Yeah. Anybody have any questions? Okay. Number 2 is the Borscht Belt marker. We got the presentation last week for the placement and the whole description of what the Borscht Belt marker was all about. So tonight we're going to vote on the placement at the Historical Society. Anybody have any discussion on that? Okay. Number 3 is a letter of support for the Sullivan County O&W Rail Trail grant application. This is something that we provided in the past, and it's just to show that our support for the continuation of the rail trail as they add on to it. They're going to be working their way through Mountaindale, and you can see the paper's been showing an awful lot of work being done up towards Narrowsburg. Where are we? Fallsburg. Okay. Okay. The number 4 is a letter of support for the American Legion, VFW. Being our 250th anniversary of the country, the Legion and the veterans have gotten together and they're doing an awful lot of work so that we can celebrate it properly. And the letter of support is just the town board stating that we're applauding their efforts and that we'll be behind them to assist them in whatever way that we can. Any discussion or questions on that? Okay. That is the work session. So we're going to start our business meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. You all stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. I did. Okay. Good evening. Good evening.
Seating arrangements.
First item on the business meeting would be public comments, 3 minutes apiece, 30 minutes maximum. This is regarding items that are on the agenda. So anybody have anything that they'd like to get up and speak about? Chris.
I'm Chris Lesser, and I am a Navy and Air Force vet, and I'm glad to see that the town, whatever the town does, it says full support for American Legion VFW. I don't know whatever that means, but gotta be positive, I guess. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's a good thing.
Imagine.
Okay. Is there anyone else out in the audience that'd like to speak? Okay. Brittany, do we have anybody online?
I do not.
Okay. So we're going to, we have with us our legislator, Nick Salamone, and he's going to give us a report.
Give a little summary of what's going on with the county as far as spending money in the town of Mankato. We spent $7.578 million on the bridges. Normally, the town take care of the bridges, but the county does it instead of revenue sharing. So that's one big help. To repave is 5.47 miles of paving. We did the Burlingham Road. Over the year and a half, we've done the Winterton Road, a little bit of CR 62, Campbell Road, Spruce Road, Upper Road, and Hamilton Road within the county. To repave a road, it comes to $340,000 a mile, but if we have to fix and repair guardrails, it comes out to $540. And the reason I'm mentioning it, people complain, where's my county taxes going? And it goes for the roads. It goes for police protection. Not that we get a lot, but we try. We're trying to get our deputies up there, the contracts up, and we want to be as fair as we can be. The other item I have is the county tax originally was scheduled to go up 19%. We argued back, forth, back, forth. We got it down to the cap. Now, when you look at your tax bill, really look at it. Your county taxes in Mamakating actually went down, thanks to the assessor, who does a great job with the equalization rate, and new businesses coming in, new assessed valuation. So we didn't get hammered like they did up in the county. And I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Nick.
Well, you said the county spent $7.5 million on bridges here in town.
Okay, next would be our highway superintendent's report. Tom?
Evening, everybody. Just a couple of quick points here. Last week we encountered what would have been the first large snow event of the year and probably the first large snow event in the last couple of years. About 2 feet of snow came down. Crews worked for 2 days cleaning up the roads. And then they worked for the following week, pushing back intersections, winging roads. So just a couple points from that last storm that you guys should know as you deal with the constituency, and the public should know. That's what I do all day long. So as it happens, mailboxes do occasionally get struck by the plow, or most usually plowed over by the weight of the snow. As a courtesy to residents, we will replace or fix mailboxes we damaged during snow and ice operations. Understand that mailboxes are considered obstructions in the right of way. We're not under any legal authority to replace or repair them. We do as a courtesy. So what I'm asking is if you find your mailbox has been damaged, give me a call, but give us a few days after a storm, because our first priority is going to be cleaning up the road. After we get that all tidy, we'll get out there and we'll start hammering away. And that's what we've been doing the last 2 days. And we're going to finish up tomorrow. So last 2 other points for the snow. Just remember, it is illegal to push snow from your driveway into the road. That is a constant issue. Even 2 days ago, on a completely beautiful evening, I had to send a crew out on overtime because somebody cleaned out their driveway after a week and a half and put it right on the road. And there were 2 cars went off the road in the span of 10 minutes. And then also no street parking per the town code from November to April. That's also a big thing in some areas. There's not adequate driveways for some of the residences, and we end up having to move vehicles around to get the roads plowed. Just takes extra time and effort, which we're certainly willing to do. But if you could just, make sure to mind that, it just helps us get our job done faster and more efficiently. Last couple points here. We've been busy making repairs to vehicles and completing PMs when it hasn't been snowing. And then, like I said there, the last couple of days, the crews have been going around fixing mailboxes and moving snow from intersections to widen it. And the last point, just because Legislator Salomon brought it up, I haven't done it yet, but you'll be getting an email from me, probably to Larry Paggi, as I need to get the ball rolling on the Yankee Lake Bridge. As he stated, the county takes care of the county bridges. They don't take care of the town bridges. That's our responsibility. And it's on our 284 this year to do Yankee Lake Road. And I'd like to get a number for the Yankee Lake Bridge. I'm not saying it's going to happen or what can happen, but we've got to get the ball rolling. So you'll all get an email, Paggi will get an email, and we'll get that started so we can get prices and get a direction with which you're heading. So that's all I got. Thank you.
Hey,
Thanks.
thank you, Tom. Okay, next is the supervisor's report. Don't have an awful lot to report on other than we've kept busy, especially with the snowfall, making emergency plans, making sure that everybody was taken care of, coordinating with the highway department, and just keeping an eye on things, fielding a lot of phone calls. But I'd like to thank them for the great job that they did, as well as our parks department or our maintenance department, who keeps our parking lot clean, and all the rest of the town properties. I think they did a really fantastic job under trying circumstances. It was a very heavy snowfall. Everybody knows about that. It's tough for them to find places to put it. And then afterwards, they have to deal with an awful lot of people who are very upset because the snow is in their driveway, and people just need to have some patience and know that nobody's getting picked on and having snow put into their driveway on purpose. It's on the road and it's going to get plowed somewhere. But My hat's off to the highway department and our maintenance department. Next would be the 2025 abstract number 30 for $130,244.27. Everybody take a look at that?
Yes.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion.
Motion by Michael, second. Tyler? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Next would be the 2026 abstract number 4 for $4,479,119.16. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Motion by Matt? And a second? Second by Tyler. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Third was abstract number 5 of 2026 for $13,742.65. Do I have a motion? Motion by Gary, second.
I'll second.
Second by Rob. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. And the financial reports. Has everybody had a chance to look at the financial reports?
Yes.
Okay.
Make a motion to accept the financial reports.
Okay, well, motion by Mike, second.
Second.
Second by Tyler. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Okay. Approval of the minutes for January 20th, 26. Everybody's got a chance to look at the minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, do I have a motion to accept?
Vote.
Gary? Okay, motion by Gary,
Second.
second by Matt. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. And for the resolutions, do I have a motion to approve the budget modifications? I don't think we did that, didn't we? Do I,
I'll make a motion.
okay. Motion by Rob. Second by Tyler. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Okay. And B, a motion to approve the Borscht Belt marker to be placed at the historical building.
Motion.
Motion by Matt,
Second.
second by Michael. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Number C is approved letter for support for the Sullivan County O&W Rail Trail Grant application. Can I get a motion to approve that?
Motion.
Motion by Matt,
Second.
second by Tyler. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And final resolution D, approve the letter of support for the American Legion Post 1266 and VFW Post 4947. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Motion by James. Can I get a second?
Second.
A lot of seconds. Matt, we're going to get a second by Matt. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Committee reports. I know we have a couple of them. We do have a,
Yep. You want me to start?
what's that?
You want me to start?
Please do.
Okay, I have a report from the assessor's office. There, for the month of January, there were a total of deeds received of 97, of which 93 were the town, the other 5 were from Bloomingburg and Wardsboro. There were 37 address changes. There were 17 combinations, and there were 48 town permits processed, with 14 processed, I'm sorry, I didn't bring my glasses. Processed for valuation. Exemptions received were 8 for the aged. 26 of those were renewals. Forestry, 30. Agricultural renewal, 4. Holy application 2, and disabled veterans 3, and regular veterans 2. There were 2 grievances submitted by Michelle Lago Marcino
February 3rd.
Okay.
26.
Thank you. Do we have any other committee reports?
I have one. The Parks and Rec, just let everybody know that the Parks and Rec did the ice skating rink this year. It's the first time in a long time we've had a long stretch of cold weather, so the Parks and Recs guy put it together. The Bolingbrook Firehouse came and dropped off all the water for it. It got used pretty good this weekend, so hopefully in this weekend too, it's going to be real cold and people will be out ice skating. So get your skates out. Come on out.
Got a fresh layer of water, which will be iced by later on tonight. So it should be a lot of fun to go out onto. Okay. Any announcements?
Yeah, Peter, I have an announcement. The Ward 2 meeting will be here on Thursday, the 19th at 6 p.m. Everybody's invited, whether you live in Ward 2 or not. And yes, we will have cookies.
Yes. Good deal. Okay.
Sold.
Any other announcements? Okay. Public comments. This is 3 minutes each individual, 30 minutes maximum for any new business. Lori.
Laurie Green. Unfortunately, I'm here tonight with a sad announcement. Ed McJolton, who I believe many of you know, passed away this past Saturday. He was the president of the Sullivan County Committee, Conservative Party Committee, and I had the honor of working with him. I just wanted to say a few words. He was a very unique individual. He was a good leader and a great fighter for values that I think a lot of us, regardless of party affiliation, agreed with. He was a good soul. And he had this can-do, positive attitude that I think many of us admired. And for me, and I'm sure many others, our condolences and prayers go out to his wife, Glenn, and the entire McJolton family. In terms of specifics, they're going to be having the viewing at the Harrison Rasmussen Funeral Home in Barryville this Thursday from 1 until 4. Prayer services will be followed at 4. And following the prayer service, there'll be a reception at the Narrowsburg Fire Department on Bridge Street, open to anybody that wants to attend. That's it.
Okay. Thank you, Lori. Anybody who ever had a chance to meet Ed will appreciate what Lori had to say. He was a guy that was always smiling. It was a lot of fun to be with, and he dedicated a lot of his life to community service and making things better. So he'll be missed. Okay. Okay. Yes, please. I'm sorry.
Allison Farley. I just wanted to take advantage of County Legislator if there's any way the county can assist us with the many ongoing issues with Horizons. I know I have a friend who's lived there the last 3 or 4 years and been in touch with her. Of course, I've known about it since it was set up. And so any of us, I think, who've lived here and we're looking for excellent senior housing, that's not what it is. They've had bed bugs and mold from the beginning. The actual on-site managers have been problematic. The last person who was finally let go had a criminal record, and that the manager actually is provided with an on-site apartment. I would suggest that it's the management company that owns several of these facilities and runs them in the Mid-Hudson Catskills, that they're the ones to be exposed. I know at the end of Aileen Gunther's term, since I knew her and had worked with her up at the hospital, I met with her and one of her aides and my friend from Horizons. And, you know, I think her staff went on site, but it's just, it doesn't get addressed, Nick. And again, I realize this is really the village. I know you were there, Peter, yesterday with the alarm problem, which again, the maintenance person, as my friend told me, did not turn the alarm off, the fire alarm off, which was triggered not by a fire, right?
Okay, the problem was that they developed a leak in their heating pipe and something burst, and that triggered one of the alarms. The fire department had to come up, and they actually end up turning off the heat to the entire building. We got pretty lucky that we didn't have a full-scale evacuation, that they were able to get the heat back on last night before the residents got too cold. But you're right, there's been a lot of neglect and ongoing issues with it. One of the problems is that it's a private residence. It's owned privately. So it's not necessarily something that the village can do very much about. The building inspector, the village building inspector has been in there working with the management, trying to get them to address issues. He lets me know that there's the finances are not that good, and that there is a grant that they're going to be awarded, but it's probably not going to come in until later on this year. But they're trying to address as many of the issues as they can.
What's the grant from? Do you know?
I don't, he said it was a state grant. I didn't,
Well, I would say as a taxpayer, I would really like to see any grant coming to that facility have real strict stipulations about what you have to do before you're going to get money from the state. I mean, I know I talked to you, Karen, back when we were more active to see what grants had gone in. You know, did you have, do we have leverage that way? Because I mean, it's just to think how out of hand it is. We can't have one nice senior housing facility in our village that's maintained well. Was the maintenance worker there yesterday?
the building manager came down. I was there with the mayor of the village, as well as the building inspector. We were on the phone with the property owners. The property manager came down with somebody else. They had a maintenance crew there. We also got other plumbers to come in the event that the maintenance crew couldn't handle it. We had some big scale plumbers that were going to be able to handle it because, like I said, if we didn't get the heat back on, we were looking at evacuating probably about 50, mainly seniors.
Well, that's certainly a big issue, but again, a false fire alarm that
Well,
the maintenance
the-
person didn't turn off.
No. When the pipe burst,
I understand. I mean, residents that want to call a K. I mean, what does it take, even if it's a private facility? So thank you. I know you're involved. And I know it's you're mandating and this is, but I think it affects all of us and I appreciate any support. Thank you.
okay. Thank you, Mayor Ellison. Dave?
Yeah, Dave Leibold, and since Mary Allison brought that issue up about senior housing, Godfrey Manor in Bloomingburg, okay, has massive problems. They had months where they had no water. The only water they had in the entire complex was through a water truck with a garden hose going into the building. They didn't plow out this last snowstorm until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. If an ambulance had to get in there or a fire truck had to get in there, that would have been a major problem. And again, I understand that, you know, this is a management company, it's a private company, but, you know, I think it would behoove the town to put some pressure on these management companies to do what they're supposed to do. I have a friend who lives in Godfrey Manor, and he's always telling me about issues that they have. There are 8 apartments in that complex that have been empty for years. There are toilets that run and run and run, and they're having water issues, and nobody does anything about it. He contacts the management company, and they more or less blow him off. I mean, there was an issue with the lighting in the parking lot for months. They had no lights in their parking. So somebody's got to put pressure on these management companies to do what they have to do. I mean, these are seniors. They don't deserve to be treated like this.
No, I agree. Again,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Frank?
Good evening, everyone. Frank Oviello, I think you all know I'm a local town and village resident. First of all, I'd like to make a comment about the items under the work session, 2 to 4. Indicate to me that the board is very much in tune with our master plan, working toward this ecotourism and protecting the lifestyle we have there. That's what I love most about being here. And I'd like to see that I'd like seeing that being pursued. Thank you for that. I'd like the highway superintendent to know that the Coviello family, we live on a tertiary road and woke up and our road was clean. So there are families in the village and in the town that appreciates what they do. And then finally, I just like to put a buzz in your ears. This is not necessarily a new business. It goes back several administrations about the protection of our aquifer. This was started quite several administrations ago, and I'm somewhat familiar with it, not intimately aware of what's going on. I know some of the things, but I would hope that that is something that this particular board will make a priority. Without getting into details, I feel there's something currently going on in the town that will potentially put that aquifer in danger. And if we already had something like a sole source aquifer designation, it would immensely help us to protect that aquifer. Thank you for your consideration. Thank you for the opportunity of speaking with you this evening.
Thank you, Frank. Is Mr. Lesser?
I like this word, de novo. I have issues. So along those lines, I've been adamant about when people get appointed to whatever that is here, those people should be here front and center. So we see these people, who the hell they are, even if they even exist. Last 2 weeks ago and the week before, between the zoning and planning board, each one of the boards only had 5 members present. The planning board had 5. Eric Coleman was supposed to, he was not there, no show. So you had 5 board members there. Three out of the 5 are senior citizens in their 70s. If they were not there, half the 3/4 of the time, there would be no meetings. The old people are there. So you have this also, now you go into the zoning board. Once again, 5 members were there. And Michael Toledo was a new appointment and he was there. So that rounded out. So if he wasn't there, it'd be only 4. But once again, I just like to see, so whoever these board members are, it seems like there's a constant turnover, 2 or 3 a year here in these boards. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know what the board members think this is, that they just can come in here, show in whenever they want to and don't have to show up again. There's something wrong with this turnstile of people to whatever their issues are. And you board members, I guess, interview all of them, maybe not, as a recommendation from some. But this has to be changed a little bit here, because as you just mentioned, 2 boards, both only had 5 members. Does that look okay for the people that come here and participate, the public that look and want to know what the hell's going on here, other than me?
Not to argue with you, but they need 5 voting board members, and then there's 2 alternates. So they've constituted a full board both times. And I've got to say, God bless the senior citizens that are making it out there, because they're the ones that show up every meeting. So
There are no, as I said, only 5 board members there. The alternates are not there. Why do they come in here and then you don't see them for many months, many meetings? As the planning board has 9 members, you've heard me complain about this before, and here's only 5 show up, 3 of which are senior citizens. Thank God for the old people.
well, the board itself has 5 members, and then you're talking about the planners and the attorneys.
Zoning has 5. Planning has that.
Was that 7? Okay. I'm incorrect. I'm sorry. Thank you, Chris. Senior citizens. The guy. One. Is there anyone, is there anybody else who would like to address the board? Brittany, do you have anybody online?
I do not.
Okay, wonderful. We don't have an executive session planned for tonight, so may I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Motion by Tyler, second?
Second.
Second by Michael, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, okay. Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight. Stay warm, stay safe.